Hello, I'm Cookie, and welcome to a new series I'm doing called the Untold Origins. In this series, I'll be doing a speed round of one or multiple minor characters from my series Legends, while I talk about their backstories. I'm choosing to focus on minor characters because 1. Their backstories will not be explored in depth in the main series, and 2. Talking about major characters will reveal major spoilers. I will emphasize that because I am focusing on their backstories, I will not spend too much time talking about their character development or personality. So if there seems to be a lack of that, that's why. Without further ado, let's kick things off with two characters who actually existed a very long time ago before the main plot began, Helios and Selene. Long ago, two wolf pups lived on a remote island, a pair of siblings named Morning and Moonflower. Morning was the quiet and stoic older brother, while Moonflower was the younger and outgoing one. Despite their different personalities, they cared deeply about each other. Moonflower would help her brother be a little more rebellious and social, while Morning would keep his sister from getting into too much trouble. One thing they both loved was listening to the stories of their elders. Unlike the rest of the pups, who would rather run around and pretend to hunt, Morning and Moonflower would listen intensely on the stories involving the now extinct mythics, powerful creatures that once roamed the lands. Although, Moonflower would always pretend that she wasn't interested. But not her brother. He proudly listened to them, which caused the other pups to tease him, and when this would happen, his sister would be the first one to defend him. Over the years, they grew to be fine hunters and fighters for their pack, and though they were not pups anymore, they still enjoyed listening to the elders' stories. Life was simple, until one day, the island began shaking violently. Morning and Moonflower rushed out of the forest and headed towards the lake for safety. There, they saw what appeared to be a phoenix flying in place above the center of the lake. Then, a small island with strange rock formations emerged from the center. The phoenix seemingly went to land on the island. Morning and Moonflower glanced at each other, confused, before returning to their pack with the news. Over the next few days, the wolves would look out on the island, but nothing came of it. One night, Morning carefully snuck out to look at it, unaware that Moonflower was following. At the lake shore, Morning was looking out on the island. Then, his sister arrived, slightly startling him. "You're not thinking of swimming out there, are you?" "Of course not. That's a death wish." The lake was large and too cold. Anyone who dared to swim across would drown before making it halfway to the island. Just as they were about to leave, a light began emanating from the island, and the phoenix flew to them. She introduced herself as Phoenix, the creator of all magic, and asked them a favor. "I have a special task of you. I need guardians to watch over this necklace until the chosen one arrives. To aid you, I will grant you great powers of the fallen." Morning and Moonflower thought about this offer, thinking back to the stories of Phoenix they had heard about. Without a moment's more of hesitation, they both agreed. And so, Phoenix gave them each a spark of magic, and a bright light began glowing off of them. Morning's fur turned white, sprouted wings, and a sword appeared at his side, which would become known as the Sword of Light. Meanwhile, Moonflower also sprouted wings, but her fur turned black and a whip appeared before her, which became known as the Whip of Shadow. Once the transformation was complete, Phoenix renamed them Helios and Selene. Over the next few years, they trained with their new powers and weapons. The powers had stopped them from aging, though they were not immune to injury or death. By the time they had mastered their powers, their packmates had become elders themselves. For the next few years, they would take turns resting and watching the center island. Helios watched in the day, while Selene watched at night, all while Phoenix was in slumber, turned to stone on one of the rocks. Though the siblings could not spend as much time together, they felt as though they had found their purpose and could not be more pleased. One night, Selene was looking out over the lake and noticed strange movements. Though it was hard to make out, she voiced her concerns to Helios, who had not seen anything during his watch. However, it did not take long for the threat to reveal itself. Based on the descriptions of the stories, Helios and Selene recognized the threat as corruptors, the power-hungry monsters responsible for the deaths of the mythics. For days, they fought, protecting the necklace. One battle was particularly rough due to the number of corruptors. During the fight, Helios got knocked down and struggled to keep fighting. To protect her brother, Selene flew high above the island and used her whip to expend a ton of magic, causing the corruptors to be thrown back. But it came at a cost. The Whip of Shadow was torn apart, and a stray attack managed to hit an exhausted Selene, who fell down to the center island. Before Helios could try to catch her, she hit her head on one of the stone pillars. Helios can only watch helplessly as his sister died. The corruptors saw this chance to attack, but they could not get close to the center island, for the shadow tentacles started attacking. No matter how hard they tried, they could not get through, so they fled and haven't returned since. Helios begged Phoenix to help Selene, but she could not. But she offered something else instead. Together, they buried Selene, and Phoenix placed a large stone on top of the grave. Although I cannot save your sister, I can save another life. If a body is placed on this altar, I will heal them. Helios grieved for his sister, but eventually accepted her death. Because her whip was destroyed, her power will forever be part of the island. Every now and then, Helios will leave the center island to find injured animals to take to the altar to be healed, sparing them the fate of his sister. Besides that, he sits alone on the island, waiting for the chosen one to arrive. And that's all I'll be covering. Helios' story does continue, but that's tied to spoilers, which will be revealed in the main plot. Make sure to comment below what you thought of this backstory. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye!